Hello and welcome to your astrological vibrations for Friday, January 8th, 2021 by Gaia Blooming. I am Mimi and our energy mantra for today is my actions and decisions are my personal responsibility. And let me start off by doing a small defense of 2021. One of the things I talked about in the New Year video, besides the fact that I don't think that January is actually our new year, was that in 2021, especially the beginning, we will be dealing with 2020 issues. So I know there's a lot of intensity right now. It does align with the astro, and we're definitely going to have some stuff we're going to have to be moving through these next few months. But we're only, 7 days into to the 13th month of 2020. And let's not make this whole year like this, right? Okay, let's hold some space for some good, because there will be good. And again, here we're bringing in a little bit more balancing energy, which hopefully will support us, because we could all use a little balance in this. But again, remember, your decisions, it is your responsibility, your actions, your personal responsibility, and all of us, right? All of us make a difference by responding in a way that's true on that soul level. Mahalo is clearly agreeing. Don't do anything bad. Your decisions are your responsibility too, Mahalo. Anyway, so today we have... Excitedly, you're talking to me? Come here. Come say hi to everybody. We have two major shifts today. So we have Venus into Capricorn. That will be at 7:41 a.m. Pacific time. And we have Mercury into Aquarius, 4 a.m. Pacific time. Suddenly has so much to say. Now, Mercury into Aquarius. We are actually going to have Mercury spending quite a long time. Mercury usually is 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks in, move through, that's it. We will have Mercury in Aquarius into March, I think till March 15th, because we will have our first Mercury retrograde of 2021 in the sign of Aquarius. So we have that incoming, and we'll dig into that in a second. Venus will be in Capricorn, for about 3 weeks, and we'll be shifting into Aquarius at the beginning of February. So more Aquarius vibes incoming. So I think let's start with Venus in Capricorn. Venus in Capricorn energy. Venus values our worth, relationships, also justice, right? In Capricorn, the sign of rules and structure. So Venus is like Lady Justice in this case, and I'm moving in, and we're gonna have to do some grounding work and some restructuring, and hello, the yin has come to town. And I really do feel like in every aspect of the world, in every aspect of our life, we really do need to start listening to that yin aspect and coding it into our structures. Now, what does this mean on a personal level? Venus in Capricorn, grounding, presence with ourself. Venus in Capricorn can desire more of a commitment. Venus in Capricorn desires steadiness. So hopefully Venus in Capricorn will offer us a little bit more steadiness, a little bit more grounding, especially if we are paying attention to the relationship that we have with ourselves and those physical needs that we're needing, our physical needs during this time. Again, with all of this that's going in the world, it can be so stressful. And even if that wasn't happening, all of this Aquarius energy can be very stressful to the body because it is so stimulating and mental. So hopefully Venus in Capricorn will help us ground. Also, what I love is that Venus and Mars will be trining each other. Trine is a supportive connection, and so that should be good for our inner yin and yang balance, and hopefully again some balance out there in the world. What do we need to be aware of with Venus and Capricorn? Be aware of your worth around what others or society thinks of you, and trying to play it up in order to make anybody think better of you. There's there is no benefit to that. I'm not a fake it till you make it kind of person, you know? So don't be trying to make yourself look better to anybody else. Be real. And if your worth, if it's feeling low, how can you in the physical practice some self-care so that you remember who you are, that you don't have to pretend, because you don't have to pretend, because you're better than anything that you could ever pretend to be. Truly, at the core of you, you are better than anything you could ever pretend to be. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about this Mercury in Aquarius energy. Whew. Okay, so Aquarius is in part ruled by Uranus. So what they say in astrology, the bays of astrology say that Mercury or Uranus is a higher octave of Mercury. So when we have both Mercury and Uranus energies, or Mercury in Aquarius, holy moly, do our antennas go crazy. I don't know if any of you remember, but I've likened the Aquarian energy to being a gigantic satellite dish. So we take the satellite dish and now we're adding a gigantic antenna. So all of our energies are going to be picking up even more information, even more energy. Grounding is going to be so super important. I have to say that technology, chances are, is not going to be thrilled with Mercury in Aquarius or even this retrograde. So be patient with your technology. Treat it nicely. Pet it. My computer likes me to pet it. Be gentle with that. Be gentle with your mental energy. Watch for overstimulation. Watch for overthinking. Again, grounding is so important. And as I mentioned with Mars moving into Taurus, we want to make sure that we don't just keep the ideas up here. Like, they'll just keep spinning around and around, and more will just keep coming in and in and in and in and in. We really do want to bring them through, make them manifest, the ones that are worth it. And also, having some kind of journaling process or mind dumping process may be really important. Already with these energies in Aquarius that we have, there have been times that I have felt like super like ADD, like overstimulated, and I can't sit still or do one thing for a second. Breathing, sitting, connecting, feeling, opening through your chakras so that energy can move through. All of that can support you with this energy because it is a lot. That being said, Mercury in Aquarius can bring brilliance, absolute brilliance. There may have been things in your life that you have not been able to think of a solution for, and suddenly, ta-da, we have solution coming through. But again, we don't want to be so mentally focused that we forget the heart of things. So do please make conscious effort daily to connect your mind with your heart because that's really important. We don't want to be in just a mentally based world. We do need that heart energy. So keep that in mind. But again, I think the biggest thing is we will be feeling this overstimulation. I do think Mercury in Aquarius and, the incoming retrograde that we will have will probably be good, we'll see, for starting to understand some of what's going on. I'm really excited. I'm going to be doing a mystical musings with my friend Marcia this week for our patron groups later in this week, or later next week, I guess. And she's had some really brilliant insights to bring forward. Really pay attention. Again, how can we help and support one another? How can we come together? To shift and raise the vibration of things, to shift and raise how we are showing up. Come say hi. Noisy. He came by, so we had to grab him. It's been so long since he's been on camera. Say hi, Molly. He's like, just put me down. Let me keep going. I think that's one last thing to mention with the Mercury and Aquarius energies. Being mindful of your vibrational energies. I mentioned at the beginning of this year, vibrational consciousness is going to be a huge thing and ongoing. Vibrational consciousness. Pay attention. And especially in your own life. Because again, Everything that's happening can be very triggering and traumatizing. Pay attention. What do you need? How can you show up for yourself? Because you make a difference, and you, in your aligned energy, makes a huge difference in this world. So let's look at some of these other astro transits through the day. Moon in Scorpio is still showing us the dark side. We have the sun in Capricorn connecting to the moon in Scorpio. Make good decisions. Make good decisions in your life. It really feels like a very strong thing. Again, all of your decisions that you are making, how you are showing up, it makes a difference in the world. Sun and moon connecting to Neptune. Taking time, listening to your intuition. There is a divine plan unfolding. You know, like some of the stuff is causing outrage. You know, there's so many layers to everything that is going on right now. What each of us needs to do is find our alignment, and we do that by tuning in. We do that by listening. We do that by honoring our intuition and moving accordingly. This Neptune energy is really interesting. One of the things that we need to remember is that Neptune and the South Node and the North Node are all in this like T-square right now. There are lots of illusions happening. I'm not saying that things are necessarily an illusion, but I do think that there are multiple agendas at play. Do we know what they are? Not always. But when we tune in, we can figure out what our role is to make shifts in this world. So, what is your shift? What is your contribution? That's part of that Aquarius energy. What is your contribution? Whew, oy, oy, oy. And then we also have Moon and Pluto, and that Moon and Pluto is also connecting to Mercury, connecting to Mars. So we will have Mercury square Mars, these Aquarius, Taurus squares that we will be going through. That Mercury square Mars feels like argument central about what's real, what's not, what's really happening, all of that. Again, just like I've said in so much of 2020, we don't really know. All we can know is what is my role, how am I called to show up, and lining up with that. People are going to argue, people are going to try to pull you out of that energy, people are going to try to pull you out of your personal empowerment. Your empowerment is that alignment. Keep coming back to it. There's no sense in arguing with trolls. Like, literally, you're not going to change. If you haven't changed somebody's mind yet, you are not going to change their mind. So, let's look at the cards for today. Whew! Okay, we have the Thunderbolt card in reverse. So yeah, we are dealing with some of this fallout. We are definitely dealing with some of this intensity. I don't necessarily feel like the intensity is going to be dying down quite yet. Just keep that in mind. I don't think the intensity is quite dying down just yet. There are many who are very much holding on to where they are at in all of this. What we need to dig into, grounding, source energy, to get beyond those outside illusions and just in alignment within ourselves. So, that is your scope for today. Whew, that's a lot. You can book a reading with me. Email me, mimiclark@gmail.com. Like I said, this is your last call for 2021. Your ahead readings, how they are fitting into your chart. You can always book like a half-hour reading, 45-minute reading, whatever that is for you. Besides that, the better it gets, the better it gets. Keep that in mind. Our vision is important. There's more than enough love in the world for you. You have the power, and stay curious. Namaste.